This week on Camera Talk, are you ready, mister? We are looking at another member of the Konica family, the Konica Hexanon AR 50mm 1.7. That's right, mister, 1.7. What have we looked at already in the 50mm range? 1.4, we've already looked at that one. But now we're looking at 1.7, which was kind of considered their standard budget kit lens. But we're going to find out if it's just a regular kit lens or if it's a big major performer in the world of Konica. So let's find out together. You and me, mister. Let's get it on.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always coming down.
This is Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and Dylan. That's right. Dr. Scott and Dylan are back for another week of Camera Talk, and as the intro said, this week we are looking at the 50mm 1.7 from Konica. It was considered a standard lens, kit lens. So I was going to say stit. That's a mix of standard and kit together, making stit. So it's a standard kit lens for Konica. And it was pretty low budget. It was lightweight. It was compact. It was, it was just easy to put on the lenses when you're, on the cameras when you're selling the suckers. Konica is even more so famous for obviously its 57mm 1.2, which is a little radioactive, by the way. Ever heard of thorium, mister? Well, it had some thorium-doped glass in there. And I don't mean dope as in illicit drugs or anything. But
just ate the most acid I've ever seen anybody eat in my life.
But I know, that's scary, isn't it? Radioactivity is scary to some people. But Dylan also knows that Daddy's got quite a number of radioactive lenses sitting up behind us over here. And I don't think we're suffering from any exposure, are we? But the other one is the 50mm 1.4, another very popular lens. I did an earlier Camera Talk, or we did an earlier Camera Talk episode on that one. So this week we are looking at the 1.7. It's the kind of the simplified version, but, and I do mean but, because we like big butts, right?
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
The 1.7 is a performer. I mean, when you look at the camera reviews and whatnot on them, its price per performance ratio is the best among all pretty much vintage lenses that a lot of people have tested out there. So again, for a really user-friendly, price-friendly lens, this sucker is a performer. Yeah, just like you are a performer, like a circus performer you are. But anyway, the little bit about Konica, for those who may or may not know, they started way back in 1873. That was a little bit before Daddy's time, right? 1873, they started off in the photography business in Japan. Of course, I should mention that. Yeah, you like the Japanese, right? Yeah. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so.
I'm turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so.
I know he always advises me to stop singing as soon as possible. But anyway, so they got into producing their very first camera in, what was it, around 1900, somewhere in that range. And the year 1900, that is. And they went, producing camera stuff all the way till 2003, when they merged with Minolta. And then not too long after that, Sony took over, and we all know where Sony went with that one, don't we? So anyway, they also diversed a little bit. In 1971, they started producing photocopiers. What's that got to do with camera and stuff, right? Well, photography, photocopier. There might be a connection there somewhere, yeah. But anyway, this Konica here is it's well built. It's it's got two different versions. The first one was in 1973, and the second version was in 1976. This is the second version. The first version was all metal all the time. This one has a rubber focus ring. That's really the only difference between it. It's the same formula, same old, everything same old. Close focus distance though changed. The original one was 45 centimeters, and this one's 52 centimeters. So it moved by that much, or it got longer by that much. So that's the one I have. They ended production in these 1979.
1979.
So it was pretty much 70s child. You know what was going on in the 70s? Some stuff was okay, some not so much, like disco.
I just remember disco and hating it so much.
But anyway, they did their thing. And Konica was kind of ruling the 1970s with the Hexanon line. The AR Hexanon was their pro line. So anyway, the specs on this thing are 6 elements in 5 groups. Again, its close focus distance is either 45 for the older one or 52 for the newer one. 6 aperture blades, which is common, for lens production back in the 60s and 70s. When it's wide open, of course, you get round bokeh balls, but when you stop down, you start getting the nut-shaped bokeh balls, and depending on how you like your nuts shaped. Some like them round, some like them with little edges.
No.
Could be painful. But anyway, weight 240 grams, so it's not light, it's not heavy. It's kind of right in the middle. You kind of say it blows, does it? Yourself. Build character on this thing, very sturdy. Again, the focus ring's nice and smooth. The aperture ring, the earlier model had half stop clicks. This one does not. It's the later one, goes full stop clicks. So they're not a nice smooth or clickless aperture ring like the Carl Zeiss. You like Carl Zeiss, huh? Or any of those others out there. Its image quality, though, is kind of where it shines. Wide open, starting wide open, sharp, contrasty. Ideal, like the sharpest it starts to get, is at 2.8. A lot of lenses, that's f4, f5.6. It starts to sharpen up. This one, 2.8, it's already rocking and rolling. Color reproductions are fantastic. Nothing but good reviews on these things. So, what are you looking at, mister? Never seen me before? So, originally it wasn't very popular with vintage lens collectors or users because its flange distance to the sensor was rather close. So, when you have the adapter and whatnot, they couldn't make adapters quite well enough for it, and you'd get the mirror slap thing happening and everything else.
Striker.
But with today's mirrorless cameras, everything I own is a mirrorless camera, so vintage cameras, regardless of flange distance, work fine for me. So anyway, let's get you a shot of, what are we getting them a shot of? Oh, my Canon M50, which records these videos. And I focus in on the nameplate on the end of the kit lens, which is a 15 to 45 millimeter EFM lens. So let's do that, mister. Let's get the audience a shot of what it looks like from here, and then we'll show them some shots of you, because of course that's what you're waiting for, right? You're waiting to show off the you out there. So anyway, let me focus in best we can on. Oh, hold on one sec. That's what I suspected, since I did a video on the 100mm. My steady shot is set to 100 instead of 50. So, much better. Alright, so, oh man, this thing focuses super quick. Alright, that's good enough for me. 1, 2, 3. That is right. Let's, just for shits and giggles. You're a shit expert, aren't you? He's pooped himself twice today already, and it's only, what time is it? 10:30 in the morning. So, yeah, you're an expert in that regard, aren't you? But anyway, let's do 5.6 just to show you what that could be. And there we go here. 1, 2, 3. No, that's it for you? All right. Speaking of performing. Anyway, so those were the shots of the end of my camera lens. End of my kit lens on my Canon M50. So let's show you some shots of Dylan at 1.7. All right, and since, you know, that's pretty much what I shoot. I shoot wide open anyway all the time, especially when it's only 6 blades. I generally don't like to stop down and have the hexagon shaped I'm not talking about showing anybody anything yet. Hold your horses, mister. So let's show you some random stuff. You know, show them some random stuff. Let's look at those here. Good, and that's pretty much all I was going to show you with this lens. It's a rocking lens. Can we recommend it? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, good recommendation. Go, yeah. So, yeah, get yourself a copy. I mean, these things are so cheap. Well, I wouldn't say so cheap, because the more vintage lens users out there recognize their value, the more demand goes up and the price goes up and everything goes with it. So depends on where you get it. It's still probably cheaper than a lot of others out there. So don't fall off my leg, mister. So how about we give a little plug for Luminar, right? The software. Well, I didn't edit that with Luminar, but our software editing, yeah, see that one I did. Editing, not software editing, photo editing software. So it's Luminar AI and Luminar Neo. Now AI, of course, stands for artificial intelligence, right? How's your intelligence, mister? Can you stand using some artificial kind?
That's weird.
Yeah. So I use Luminar AI. Very cool. Everything's a one-stop shop. Click, click, click. You're done. Now, Luminar Neo is is the version that combined AI and Luminar 4 together to create their newest version, and it's very different than the others. But still, if you're in the market for one of these, get them. Get one. Get both. They're really cheap, 79 bucks. And if you click below, click below, you'll get a $10 discount. Yeah, so it's only 69 bucks. I can complain about that. Oh, somebody's sending daddy's messages. So, and that's a little kickback for us too. Yay, kickback! Okay, Dylan can buy some more cookies, can't you? Yeah. So, that was Luminar. Now, how about we ask for people to subscribe, right? We need all the help we can get with our channel. So, how about you subscribe? You want to use that hand? All right, let's go subscribe. No, up here. Subscribe. Yeah. And how about a double hand? Because your hand and my hand together make 4. So that's super powerful. Subscribe. So subscribe. That's right. And what else does YouTube like? I bet they like thumbs up, right? So we can play the thumbs up girls. Huh? You like the thumbs up girls? Yeah, I know you like the blonde one. Thumbs up. Do 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 do. Yeah, you get shy, don't you, talking about those girls? So, why should people tune in again next week? Because this was Modesty Photography. That's right, at Modesty Photography, we're here to talk about tips and tricks and all kinds of photography stuff. Vintage lenses, cameras, stuff to do with photography. You name it, we talk about it. If you want to see anything in particular, leave a comment below, right? We like comments. Yeah, leave a comment below. This guy actually gets on my wife's cell phone and finds the channel and leaves comments like he thinks that's going to help. Like a comment that says DYZZZ22VVXYA. That's a typical Dylan comment. I know to you it means something. To the rest of us, it's baby gibberish. You don't seem to care, do you? You're like lost in space. You must be getting hungry. That's right. Getting hungry. So let's end this then, all right? So stay safe out there. Stay COVID free. Because remember, you belong here. That's right. And where do they belong? They belong at Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and Dylan. That's right. So come on back next week. We'll talk about something different, something exciting. Dylan may be doing who knows what kind of new tricks. As soon as he starts talking, look out, world. Then he won't shut up because he'll just go on and on and on. Kind of like what my wife says I do. She says I never shut up. So, all right. So let's say goodbye. All right. So we'll see you guys next week, right? All right. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for listening. Thanks for just being you. All right. So, ready? Bye-bye.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always coming.